Hello and welcome back to Age of Empires 2. So today I am doing the Art of War, which is under the tutorials, and I'm doing the early resources tutorial, which is the first of quite a few to come. Now these missions are actually quite difficult. They don't feel like tutorials at all and are awfully challenging, especially to get the gold medal, which is what I'll be demonstrating today. To get a gold medal in the early resources, you need to tick up to feudal age, as well as having 21 villages before 8 minutes. So this video also actually doubles up as how you get through the dark age quickly, and a lot of all of the above when it comes to what you need to know about the dark age. So let's just get onto it. So I'll start on the biggest fundamental on how you get the gold medal, and that is constantly keeping your town centre busy producing villagers. This is important to keep your resources up and having a surplus by when you tick up, as well as reaching the goal of having 21 villagers, which is required to pass the tutorial. We can understand the importance of constantly producing villagers with this mathematical reason. It takes 25 seconds for a town centre to produce a villager, which is 2.4 villagers a minute. As you already have 3 villagers, you need to make 18 more to reach the goal of 21. 18 divided by 2.4 is 7.5, which means it takes 7 minutes and 30 seconds to produce 18 villagers, which gives such a small room for error. To back up my maths, 25 times 18 is 450, meaning it takes 450 seconds to produce 18 villagers. 60 times 8 is 480, which is the number of seconds in 8 minutes. 480 minus 450 just leaves 30 seconds to go from producing your last villager and clicking up to the feudal age. If somehow you haven't done so already, don't forget to enable your in-game timer with F11. The game doesn't calculate with real-world time, however does calculate with the time balancing they have in-game. So realistically, you can't stop producing villagers at all, especially if you either want a surplus of food, or just leaving room for error, such as dropping off food, or just about finishing a house. What you cannot afford to do throughout the entire mission is either lose any villagers, research loom, get housed, not having enough resources available to produce another villager, or not making sure you're producing villagers. Any of these issues can stop the production of villagers and therefore won't get you the gold medal. So now that I have that cleared up, let's just move on to step by step what I did. So as the game begins, you should already be busy. Ensure that as soon as you start, you're building more villagers. Fully invest your food into that, and then with your 3 villagers already on the map, you should direct 2 to one of the houses, and the remaining villager should be on the other house. The reason why 2 villagers should be on one house is because it builds it quicker, and as usually, houses take the same time to produce as producing a villager. Having 2 there won't get you population capped. Now also, you should have your scouts busy exploring, as well as organising your sheep, so it's easier to farm those when your villagers start gathering food. So after this, you want to ensure that all your villagers should be working on food. At least 6 villagers should be working on food to have a replenishing food economy. Just ensure that your sheep are also being harvested under your town centre. All the villagers that finish the houses should go straight to the sheep, as well as any villagers coming out of the town centre should once again be working on sheep. When my 8th villager spawned, I ensured that I started going for wood, because you want to get at least 2 buildings to advance into the feudal age, being the lumber camp and later the mill, and the lumber camp will just help you out in getting some more wood. Ensure that while this is going on, that your scout is busy trying to find all the different sheep and the boar around the map. Mainly you want to find the 2 boar and any of the other sheep. I found that the boar was in the bottom right and one at the top from your town centre, and there were some sheep below and to the right of your town centre. After you found the sheep and the boar, you can stop focusing on scouting, as it's really unnecessary to do so anymore. So at around 12 villages, it came to the point where I wanted to obtain the boar. To do so, you got to shoot it once and lead it back to the town centre, so when the bags of the villagers are full, they don't have any walking distance from the harvest to the town centre. This is important for when you need to force drop off any food, which is a common thing you have to do when harvesting the boar, just so villagers can keep being worked on by the town centre. Also, at around 12 villages, you want to consider putting down a house, because when it comes down to like 14 villages, you're most likely going to get population capped by then, so ensure that you build 1 or 2 houses just to ensure that you don't get population capped and stop the production of any more villages, because otherwise you don't get the gold, obviously. So at around 15 villages, I was going for my second boar and quickly building a mill, and that is the last building you need to build, assuming that you've already have enough houses to not have population capped. Villagers are going to keep pumping out 2 berries. They need, the food income over at berries, because it gets quite congested down in the town centre now. And at this point you can even get your villagers off wood, so the surplus of food comes in much quicker. And that's what I'm doing there. I'm positioning the sheep under the town centre, just so the travel time between harvests are much quicker. And as the boar's depleting, I'm going to quickly switch them onto food, where the sheeps are. And any new villagers come out are just going to go straight to food. And I only need to build a couple more villages from this point, and we're just about to reach 1 minute left. It's also important to notice that I was force dropping food to create more villagers and as well to tick over to feudal age. And here I am taking off the wood, because it's like completely unnecessary now, because the main thing is to get 500 food, because I know that last villager is going to be produced in time before the time limit. And there we go. I'm just deleting the queue because it's unnecessary to build anymore. And there we go. We've ticked up with 8 seconds, I believe that was to spare. And if you do exactly what I did there, you'll be able to do gold pretty easily. There was some issues with like me not producing enough villages quick enough and stuff, but it's all good. I did it. And if this video was helpful, please leave a like. As well, if you enjoy my kind of videos, please do subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.